In the previous two chapters, we looked first at how you can change your user behavior to make your WordPress site more secure, and then how you can lock down WordPress by hardening the files and folders within your WordPress installation, and also remove the availability of the file editor within WordPress admin. In this chapter, we're going to look at some additional features you can add to your WordPress site to increase the security level. Now, it's important to note that this is not a comprehensive list of every single security plugin and security thing that you can add to your site. Instead, this is a curated list of solutions I add to almost every site I set up to make it more secure and make it safer to use. And we're going to start out with a plugin that, in my opinion, should be built into WordPress core called Limit Login Attempts. And this speaks to something I talked about earlier in the course. You'll remember when I talked about usernames and passwords, I said that the web is full of all these bots or computers that try to log in to your admin account by brute force. They simply go to the login page and then they enter a random username and a random password. And then they do that millions of times to try to see if they can gain access by guessing the username and password combination. This can be a problem, especially if you have a popular site, because every time that bot goes in and reloads the page, it's taking away resources from your server. And that, if you get a lot of bots doing it at the same time, will slow down the performance on your site and will probably get you an email from the host saying, hey, there's something wrong on your site. There's a very simple method for avoiding this, and that is limiting the amount of time someone can try to log into your site. And the plugin, Limit Login Attempts, does just that. Now, I have to preface this by saying, normally I would never recommend a plugin that has this huge warning at the top saying this plugin has not been updated for over 2 years. But in this case, it's fine because what Limit Login Attempts doesn't need to be updated. It's a very simple function and there are no security risks involved with installing this plugin itself. Now, to show you what this plugin does, I actually have to show you my real site. So let's take a trip to morton.com. And here you can see my whole site with all my posts and everything that's going on. And I have lots of extra plugins installed, just in case you're wondering. What we're looking for here is Limit Login Attempts. And you can find it under Settings and Limit Login Attempts. The great thing about this plugin is it works straight out of the box. You just install and activate it and it'll start limiting login attempts. But if you want to, you can go and configure it further. First of all, you can set up when a user should be logged out. So you see the default settings allow a user to try to log in 4 times. If they fail after 4 times, they get locked out for 20 minutes. After that, when they regain access, they can then try 4 more times. And if they fail 4 more times, they'll be logged out for a full 24 hours. The reason why it's set up like this is, in most cases, if a bot tries to log in and then gets locked out after 4 tries, it'll probably just go away from your site and try to hack into a different site instead. But in some cases, it may come back. And in those cases, we still want to lock them out, and that way they'll be locked out for an entire day, and that pretty much diverts them forever. There's some other settings here that you can also play around with, but what's really cool about this setting and what I want to show you is that it counts how many times it's locked something out. So I haven't reset this counter for a month, and you can see it's locked out 18,031 different attempts at getting into my site. So within a month, that means 18,000 different computers tried to log into the site at least 4 times or more before getting locked out. And what do they use to try to log in? Remember how I said you should never use admin as your username? Look at the list. As you can see, the usernames that are being used by these computers that are trying to gain access to the site are usually test, user, tester, admin, admin, admin. And if I scroll down, you see it's pretty much all admin or the name of the site or administrator. So by running this plugin, you very quickly get a list of all the sites and all the IPs that are trying to gain access. And you can also see what they're using. So if you have a specific username that keeps reappearing here, you might want to create a new user, move all the posts from the old user over to the new user, and then delete the old user so there's no risk of anyone being able to gain access. This plugin is really simple to use. It works right out of the box and it's easy to configure. The only thing you have to keep in mind is if you forget your password, then this will lock you out. And if you get locked out, the only way of getting in is to manually go into your file server and remove the folder for Limit Login Attempts, and that will remove the plugin, and then you can get back into your site.